Right, shalom, shalom. This is the brother number one coming to another lesson through the spirit and power of Yahweh Basham Yahweh Shai. As always, I want to start off by giving all the praises, honor, and glory to the Heavenly Father Yahweh and our Lord and Savior Yahweh Shai. Call hello Yahweh Basham Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Bakar, Kwadash. And also, as always, double honors goes to the apostles and our elders of Great Millstone. And peace, blessings, and salutations to all you sincere Arkham out there pushing towards the end. So I just want to do a little one here about the Chariots, man. It was something I wanted to go into yesterday at camp, but it kind of, the spirit just changes things, man, and moves in different directions, so you just got to go with the flow. So I thought I'd just do it now. Because, the scriptures are coming to life, man. Not that to say they have never been coming to life, but things are really manifesting, in front of our eyes, man. And the chariots are one of them. As you know, we brothers have been documenting the chariots for some time now. But when you go into the scriptures, the chariots have different descriptions, and one of those descriptions are clouds. All right, clouds. You have the whirlwind. And then what the world would ignorantly call UFOs, man. But we know them as the chariots of the Most High, the chariots of Yahweh Shem Shai. So I'm going to read this. It says Psalm 68 and 32. It says, "Sing unto Yahweh, ye kingdoms of the earth. O sing praises unto the Lord, Salah. To him that rideth upon the heavens of heavens," right? Which is what this. You have the sky, you have space, and you have the spiritual realm, man. That's the heaven of the heavens, man, where the Most High dwells. It says, "Which were of old, lo, he doth send out his voice, and that a mighty voice. Ascribe ye strength unto Yahweh. His excellency is over Israel." Right? And his strength is in the clouds. So his strength is in the clouds, man. Why? Because the chariots are not only, they are piloted, let's say, worldly word, they're piloted spiritually by the angels. But they're actually, they're an army, man. The chariots are an army. They're the Lord's, if you will, Air Force. Just like we always reference Independence Day. You see how those chariots, because they're chariots, man. They broke, the atmosphere. They broke into the atmosphere. They came through the clouds. First, they were disguised as the clouds, and they came through the clouds, man. And then you had the smaller chariots exiting from the father ships, man. To have those dogfights in the sky. So that's the Lord's strength, man, or one of the Lord's strengths, I should say. I would say, right? So the chariots, man, are the clouds, man, according to the scriptures. I got some pictures here. There was one. This is one of the recent ones, man. This is like I said, the scriptures are coming to life, man. The words that we're reading are manifesting now in these last days, and you can see everything's manifesting. Not just the chariots. You have the proof that the MOTB is the chip, man. The mark is the chip. Is proof of that. It's happening. That's all they're talking about now. Diverting toward. I don't want to divert off of this topic, but just to make the point, they're talking about that. All the digital currencies and all that stuff now. So the scriptures are definitely springing from the pages, man. I'll read some of this. It says, "A flying saucer like cloud was seen in the sky over Bursa in Turkey last week. Even if at first glance it appeared like an alien spacecraft was about to make a landing, there was a reasonably good explanation for what really happened." There always is to these heathens, man, because they're not spiritual, man. They're not spiritual. They don't understand what's going on. They don't understand that the Lord can do anything. He can disguise these vehicles as clouds, man. It says, at first the cloud appears like an unidentified flying object looking for space to land on the planet. The imaginary is pretty dramatic, and with the right background, the score could make for an excellent introduction scene in an alien-themed movie. It's gonna get dramatic, man, because when Yahushua comes back in his chariot, man, right? People are gonna bug out, man. It's gonna be the most dramatic thing this world has ever seen, right? And when they see the likes of of those that are getting caught up in those chariots, man, it's gonna be even more dramatic, right? So I'm not need to read too deep into that, man, because they don't know what they're talking about anyway. There's nothing to learn. There's no edification in that story. Just the picture itself. In fact, so like, let me um just show some more of them images, man. You know, I remember going to school and them teaching you the formations or the cloud formations, right? There wasn't any formations of clouds that they taught like this, man. Why? Because, like I said, man, or like we know, these are the chariots, man. If you can't tell that those are chariots, then you're not spiritual, man. All right, you're just not getting dealt with in the correct way, man. These are chariots, man. You know. So like I'm going through a bit too quickly, but you can pause the video anyway to check these out, man. Look, there's just like multiple examples of this, man. Right? So the Lord's doing his thing, man. The Lord's doing his thing. What was I gonna get? Right, okay, yeah. Let me get another one actually, because the brother brought this one out, man. It's a good one. I want to get into it. Where is it? Actually, this might not be the one, but anyway, I want to read it anyway. Yeah, Psalms 108. Actually, so like, no, this isn't the one. This isn't the one. Anyway, we'll move on. We'll move on. Yeah, let's get this. Jeremiah 4. And we jump down to 13, just to get to the point. So it says, behold, he shall come up as clouds, and his chariots shall be as a whirlwind. His horses are swifter than eagles. Woe to us, unto us, for we are spoiled. Now, that spoiled means to be, basically just taken over, man, and destroyed. And that's what's going to happen, man. You've seen the movies, man. The chariots flying about with the laser beams, just disintegrating things, everything in their sight, in their path. That's what's coming, man. That is what's coming. That's what we're praying for. We want to get caught up in those chariots, Let's get Psalm 68, because I was talking about the army, the power, the Lord's power, man, being in the clouds. Psalm 68, 17, it says, the chariots of the Most High are 20,000, even thousands of angels. The Lord is among them, as in Sinai, the holy place. Because remember, the Lord was protecting and guiding Moses, man, through the Exodus with the chariots, man. They're always around. Even when you can't see them, like a brother said yesterday at camp, sometimes you see the chariots all the time, and then you can go months without seeing the chariots, man. And why is that? Because the Lord's not trying to gas you up like that, man. You can start to get beside yourself because you're seeing chariots all the time, and then you expect to see them, but they're there. They're there, and they don't move. They don't move like the average vehicles on this earth, man. Like the speed is incomparable to anything on this earth, and the maneuvers are just the same. Right, so I'm trying to find a good point to read from because I don't want to read all of this. I've got a few more scriptures I want to get out. Let's just get to the point. Yeah, Ezekiel 10 and 9, it says, "And when I looked, behold, the four wheels by the cherubims, one wheel by one cherub, and another wheel by another cherub, and the appearance of the wheels was as the color of beryl stone." Right? Cherubims, those are the angels, man. Let's just get something a minute because I just want to just check something real quick. Right, so yellow apparently. I just wanted to check the color of the beryl stone. Anyway, back into this. So yeah, it says verse 10 says, "And as for their appearances, they four had one likeness, as if a wheel had been in the midst of a wheel." And I've got, I think I still have them, pictures of chariots that I've managed to capture, and that's what they look like, man. Well, not all of them. They don't all look the same anyway, but that's what they look like, man. A wheel within a wheel, right? And it says, verse 11 says, "When they went upon their four sides. They turned not as they went, but to the place whither their head looked. They followed it. They turned not as they went." Right? You see that? So we'll imagine that. What is that, man? When you think about it, really, that's me. That's maneuvering with the spirit, man, with the mind almost. You could say that's maneuvering with this spiritual movement. Like it says, when they went upon their four sides. They turned not as they went. They turned not as they went, but to the place whither the head looked, as they followed it. So wherever you say you're maneuvering, it's like a mental connection to the chariot. So wherever you look to go, it goes, man. So that the capabilities are far beyond Esau's creations, man. You know. And yeah, let me get something else because I was talking about the the power of the army, man. All right, so let's get into what's happened to my apocrypha. Do you know what? It's not. Oh, I don't know what happened to that. Let me just read it out of the book itself. So like your friend, I don't know what's happened to that. Second Ezra's 13. Hopefully I can see this because my eyes aren't as good as they used to be. So this is Second Ezra 13, right? And this is a vision, a dream. It says, and it came to pass after 7 days, I dreamed a dream by night, and lo, there arose a wind from the sea, that it moved all the waves thereof, and I beheld, and lo, that man waxed strong with the thousands of heaven, and the chariots 20,000, right? But that's, 20,000 is just a number, okay? The Lord has as many chariots as he needs. And when he turned his countenance to look, all the things trembled that were seen under him. And whensoever the voice went out of his mouth, they all burned that heard his voice, like the earth fadeth when it feedeth the fire. And there you go again. That's the spiritual connection, that spiritual connection of power with, Yahweh Shai, the angels, and the chariots, man. He spoke, and the laser beams come out, man, to destroy. So it says, and whensoever the voice went out of his mouth, they all burned that heard his voice, like as the earth fadeth when it feedeth the fire. And after this I beheld, and lo, there was gathered together a multitude of men out of number from the four winds of the heaven to subdue the man that came out of the sea. Right, so that number is the armies of the earth, man. Coming to think that they can battle Yahweh Shai and the chariots, man. They're crazy. Verse 6 says, but I beheld, and lo, he had graved himself a great mountain and flew up upon it. And that mountain, because that's another description for the chariots, man, is mountains, all right? Also, mountains can also mean governments, man. So you have to really, have the spiritual understandings. Verse 7 says, but I would have seen the region or place whereout the hill was graven, and I could not, because it was so big. He couldn't grasp the vast size of this chariot, man. So imagine seeing that. Verse 8 says, after this I beheld, and lo, all they which were gathered together to subdue him were sore afraid, and yet durst fight. So the spirit was on them to fight, even though they knew that this was going to be a battle that they're probably going to perish in, or they're definitely going to perish in. Let's say, what am I saying? Probably for, they're about to all get put to death, man. But the spirit's going to be on them to fight, man. It says, and lo, as he saw the violence of the multitude that came, he neither lifted up his hand, nor held sword, nor any instrument of war. But only I saw that he sent out of his mouth as it had been a blast of fire, and out of his lips a flaming breath, and out of his tongue he cast out sparks and tempests. So this is all spiritual powers, man. And the connections with the chariots. And they were all mixed together, the blast of fire, the flaming breath, and the great tempest, and fell with violence upon the multitude which was prepared to fight, and burned them up every one, so that upon a sudden of an innumerable multitude, nothing was to be perceived, but only dust and smell of smoke. And when I saw this, I was afraid. So there's going to be nothing but dust. Disintegration is happening, man. Right, disintegration is coming with these chariots, man, and the laser beams that are going to be coming from them. All right. So yeah, man. And more just showing you the power that's coming, man, and how the chariots move, man. You think that do you think the Lord's chariots are going to be something you're going to sit in and you're going to switch it on, turn it over, get the engine running or whatever, and press all these buttons? Nah, man, that's not how the Lord works. These are the ultimate vehicles, man. All right, and they're coming soon, man. I could get plenty more scriptures, man, but I don't want to go too long on this one. We've been there, done it, so to speak. But yeah, just thought I'd bring that out, man, because yeah, we've seen different now. I mean, before we used to see the videos of the chariots. Now we're seeing them manifesting in the clouds a lot more now, man. It's like they're almost like they're hanging about now, and this, in that disguise, man. Just waiting to move. Anyway, that's it on that. Lord willing, it was edifying. Once more, to give all the praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakwadash. And yeah, man. Shalom on to the next one.